Lexus made a pretty big return to the luxury coupe segment a few years ago with the RC. Heavily related to the IS sedan, the RC boasts many of the strengths of the IS, but just in coupe form. For 2017, the RC sees added standard safety equipment, which makes the RC a much better value this time around. So let's go ahead and check out and take a closer look at this 2017 Lexus RC350 F Sport. Now, just like with many of other Lexus's vehicles, the RC is either love it or hate it in terms of styling. And some have said that it even reminded them of a beluga whale. But I personally like the styling of the RC, especially with our F Sports package here. And when you do get this package, you do get unique interior and exterior styling treatments, such as these unique alloy wheels and the waffle grille, as I like to call it. And then you get unique interior styling details such as the sports aluminum pedals, and then you can get a red leather interior. Overall, I really do like the styling of the RC, as it's aggressive, it's sporty, and it looks sinister. Now here goes the key fob design for the RC. You have your lock, unlock to release your trunk, and your panic button. This color of the RC is known as the Atomic Silver. Comes with smart key access on both doors of the vehicle. And it comes with a perforated black leather interior. Like I said, with the F Sports package, you can get red leather, which looks fantastic on this vehicle. And you have your power driver seat with power recline and power lumbar. Now, stepping on inside of the RC, it's a pretty inviting interior overall, and this is basically the same interior that you will find in the IS, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And it feels very snug and compact inside of here, so if you like that kind of feel, then the RC will definitely not disappoint. Now, you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you're hearing there is a 3.5 liter V6, which is optional. You have a full leather wrap steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, 8-speed automatic here with manual shiftability. And when you get the F Sports package, you do get paddle shifters. Putting the vehicle into reverse does display your rear view camera with guidance signs and trajectory. Let's go ahead and turn on the headlights and the hazards. Both windows are fully automatic. Let's go pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators and blind spot detection. Now, the RC for 2017 adds standard safety equipment such as Lexus's pre-collision system and adaptive cruise control. This makes the RC a much better value this time around, so you don't have to option up for expensive packages if you want safety technologies. And then you have 19-inch alloy wheels that comes with the F Sports package. Coming up front, LED headlights with LED daytime running lights, and the waffle comb grille. Love the waffle comb grille. And then you also do have projector fog lights. Powering the RC here is your optional powertrain. It's a 3.5 liter V6 that produces 306 horsepower at 6,400 RPM and 277 pound-feet of torque at 4,800 RPM, with EPA estimates being 19 in the city and 28 on the highway. Now, that's okay, but if you're looking for better fuel efficiency and you don't necessarily need the power here, go for the turbocharged 4-cylinder. You'll be much more satisfied. But if you're looking for jaw-dropping performance, Lexus has the RCF, which provides a very strong V8 engine. Now, competitors of the RC, you have the vehicles in the entry-level luxury coupe segment. This includes the likes of the Mercedes-Benz C-Class Coupe, BMW 4 Series, and the Audi A5. Total vehicle price for our particular RC is $53,888. PA estimates, like I said, 19 city, 28 highway. Coming to the rear of the RC, you have LED taillights, rear lip spoiler, shark fin antenna, LED third brake light, dual exhaust tips, and rear reflectors. Of course, all of your basic power necessities: power windows, door locks, mirrors, memory seat settings for 3 people. Interior quality is pretty good inside the RC here. It has impeccable build quality. You'll find soft touch materials everywhere inside of here, like on all of the door panels, and then on top of the dashboard too. You also find nice styling details such as this premium stitching, and I love the white contrast on it. And then you also do have it on top of the instrument cluster too. Overall, really nice and inviting looking interior, but I would certainly get the red leather interior as it adds more contrast and it gets rid of that Spartan feel inside of here. But I really do like the analog clock. I rather prefer it when you don't get the F Sports package, because it does look a little out of place, but the analog clock in the non F Sports RC is much better looking, but I like it. It gives the cabin a much more classy feel, but I think it's a little out of place in an F Sports RC. But coming to the steering wheel design, love the steering wheel here, and it's the F Sports steering wheel. Of course, I keep mentioning that's F Sports. I can't stress that enough because I just love it so much. But I love the 3-spoke design here, and you have steering wheel mounted audio controls, Bluetooth phone controls, voice recognition, and then you have your controls for the LFA inspired gauges, which I will get to in just a minute. Up here, auto dimming rearview mirror with garage home link, LED map lights, and your sunroof with your sunroof controls. The headliner on the RC is also very high quality too. And you have SOS Safety Connect, and down here you will find your different driver selectable modes. You have an Eco mode, which is of course your most fuel efficient setting, and your normal mode, which is your everyday mode, and your sports mode, as well as Sports Plus. Now, the sports mode, it changes the throttle response and it tightens up the steering, since the F Sports package does come with a unique tune suspension setup. And down here you have dual cup holders, and you'll find your heated and ventilated front seats, 3-stage. And this is your main controller for the Lexus Inform system, which I'll get to in just a minute. And you have your center console lid, which is nice and soft touch. Not a whole lot of storage down there, but it is lined with felt, pretty high quality. And you have dual USB ports, an auxiliary input, and a 12-volt power outlet. The seats themselves in the RC are very comfortable. They provide a really good amount of side bolstering, and they hold you in place pretty well. And they're nice and soft too, and provide a decent amount of thigh support. Visibility in the RC is okay. There's a decent amount of side glass area on the front windows. Seeing out the windshield is pretty easy. Getting to rearward visibility, it can be a lot worse, but it does help that you do have that small rear quarter window. Coming to your climate controls, you do have dual zone automatic climate control, and you have touch sensitive buttons for the temperatures, which are calibrated very well. It's very responsive. And you have your fan speeds and your different zones. Pretty easy to figure out overall. It's pretty simple to use. Now, coming to the main infotainment system in the head unit, this is the Lexus Inform system, but my biggest gripe with this head unit is that it's really small, and I rather much prefer their much larger head unit, like how you'll find in the RX, that you have that big old 12.3 inch screen. But even in the 2017 Lexus IS, they have updated the screen to make it bigger, but this is just fairly small by today's standards. Now, coming to the controller for it, they have changed the controller. In other Lexuses, you have a mouse-like controller, but this is just a little touchpad. And I like the touchpad a little bit better. I think it's a little bit more intuitive. But coming to your main screen right here, it shows everything that you'll want to know. You have your climate functions that you can control from here if you don't want to do it by the buttons down here. And then you also do have your different media sources, which do include AM, FM, XM, satellite radio, Bluetooth streaming audio, and your auxiliary input and USB port with iPod integration. And you have your CD player with your optical disc drive. Coming to your phone, you can hook up your Bluetooth phone, have all of your contacts stored on here, of course, and have an integrated dial pad. And then you have your Lexus app suite that you can access, which gives you apps such as iHeartRadio, Pandora, and then you have your info right here, which shows you things like your fuel consumption, gives you a little bar graph. And then also you have your traffic incidents, gives you a list, and then your weather, live weather, and your Lexus Insider. And then down here you have your setup. There's many different settings that you could change, like the Bluetooth, audio, traffic, and your Lexus app suite, navigation. Many different settings that you could change here. And you can also change the display settings as well, like the brightness and the camera, and you could turn the screen off too. Overall, I think the Lexus M-Form system has a pretty good interface. It's just that this could be distracting to use at times, but it's much better than the mouse controller. The touchpad is more intuitive. And then also they need to make the screen much bigger. That's my biggest complaints about that. Coming to the gauges, you have the LFA Inspire gauges, and by pressing this button, this reveals your information center, but you can cover that up. And then you have your tachometer, digital speedometer, and then you have your coolant temperature on the left, fuel gauge on the right, and it shows you your exterior temperature readout as well. And right here shows you all of your information, such as your fuel economy, fuel range, eco indicator, tire pressure, your gear position, and then you have your direction of travel, shows you what radio station is playing. Then you have your safety technologies, such as your adaptive cruise control, messages, and there's many different settings that you could change here, from the schedule maintenance, language units, your eco indicator, pop-up display, speed indicator too. I really do love this feature though. I could play with this all day. And then you have many safety technologies, such as Lexus's pre-collision system, and then adaptive cruise control, blind spot detection. There's many things to keep you safe inside of the RC here. So you have a little driver aid. Now, as far as the way the RC drives, the RC is not like the typical Lexus. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't provide a buttery, smooth, comfortable ride that Lexus is known for. The RC is a vehicle that's meant for fun. And with this V6 powertrain, you certainly won't be disappointed in the amount of power it has. It provides a reasonable amount of power, but if you want better fuel efficiency, go for that turbocharged 4-cylinder. If you want jaw-dropping performance, go with the RCF with its brawny V8 engine. The 8-speed automatic transmission also never hesitates to shift, never really had a problem with that. And then also the steering and the handling are really nice on the RC. It's much different than what you'll find in other Lexus vehicles. It handles with confidence, it's predictable, you can feel for where this vehicle is trying to go, and it feels reasonably sharp around corners. Overall, driving the RC, if you're looking for a luxury coupe that's engaging to drive with being pretty comfortable too, then the RC certainly will not disappoint. And then you have your different driver selectable modes, and the sports mode is a lot different than the eco mode when driving this vehicle. I mean, the throttle response is just much different, as well as the handling too. All right, and let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the RC. Trunk space is okay in the RC. You have a cargo net, and the rear seats do fold down 60-40 split back there. You also do have a powered passenger seat with power recline. Glove box compartment. Now, getting into the rear of the RC is pretty easy. Once you pull this lever up, then the seat will automatically pull forward for you, which is nice. And sitting back here can be pretty tight, but I mean, what do you expect? This isn't a family sedan, so. But the BMW 4 Series feels considerably larger in the rear seat. But what's nice about the RC is that if the seat comes too close to your legs, then it'll automatically pull forward so you don't get crushed. But nice materials back here, soft touch and dual map pockets, rear air vents, and you have rear adjustable headrests. But like I said, if you are looking for a roomier rear seat for your occupants, check out the BMW 4 Series. But most coupes in this segment are pretty small in the back. So with its refined driving dynamics, its standard safety technologies, and its sexy styling, the 2017 Lexus RC350 is an excellent choice for a luxury coupe. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.